Attempted assassination of Salman Rushdie, 1989 to 2022. In 1989, a single book ignited a firestorm of controversy that would reverberate across the globe, plunging one man into the crosshairs of religious extremism and state-sponsored terror. Salman Rushdie, the British Indian author of the Satanic Verses, had no idea that his novel would spark outrage among Muslims worldwide, leading to death threats, protests, and ultimately, a decree that would change his life forever. But behind the global outrage and religious fervor was a sinister force that sought not just to silence Rushdie, but to make an example of him. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, operating through its proxies and clandestine networks, played a pivotal role in orchestrating decades of threats, plots, and finally, a violent attack that nearly claimed Rushdie's life in 2022. The saga began on February 14, 1989, when Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, issued a fatwa calling for Salman Rushdie's death. Khomeini condemned the Satanic Verses as blasphemous and declared Rushdie an enemy of Islam who deserved execution. What followed was a global manhunt sanctioned by the Iranian state, with a $3 million bounty placed on Rushdie's head. But this was no ordinary fatwa. It was a call to arms that activated Iran's vast network of operatives, including the Quds Force, the elite wing of the IRGC tasked with carrying out missions beyond Iran's borders. For years, Rushdie lived in fear, forced into hiding under the protection of British authorities. The fatwa turned him into a fugitive in his own life, moving from one safe house to another while Iranian agents scoured the globe for an opportunity to strike. But while Rushdie's movements were kept secret, the IRGC's determination to see the fatwa carried out never wavered. The regime's operatives maintained close ties with extremist groups and individuals willing to take on the deadly task, ensuring that the threat against Rushdie remained ever present. The IRGC's involvement in the plot was not limited to issuing threats. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Iranian-backed operatives and sympathizers attempted to carry out the fatwa, with several foiled assassination attempts and arrests of individuals connected to the plot. Iranian embassies and consulates served as hubs for intelligence gathering and coordination, while the IRGC funneled resources to those willing to eliminate Rushdie. But despite their best efforts, Rushdie remained beyond their reach. As the years passed, many believed the threat had waned. In 1998, Iran's then-president Mohammad Khatami announced that Iran would no longer actively pursue Rushdie's assassination, offering a glimmer of hope that the fatwa had been rendered obsolete. But the IRGC and hardliners within the Iranian regime made it clear that the fatwa could not be rescinded. For them, the mission was not just about Rushdie. It was about sending a message to the world that blasphemy would be met with blood. That message was delivered with chilling clarity on August 12, 2022, when Rushdie's past caught up with him in the most brutal fashion. As he prepared to speak at the Chautauqua Institution in New York, a young man named Hadi Matar, armed with a knife, rushed onto the stage and stabbed Rushdie multiple times in front of a horrified audience. The attack was swift, brutal, and calculated, a physical manifestation of the fatwa that had loomed over Rushdie's life for over 3 decades. But Hadi Matar was no lone wolf. Investigations revealed that he had been radicalized online and was deeply influenced by Iran's state-sponsored propaganda. Matar's social media profiles were littered with praise for the IRGC and Iranian leaders, and he had expressed admiration for Khomeini's fatwa. While no direct link between Matar and the IRGC was publicly confirmed, intelligence analysts pointed to a pattern that was all too familiar: Iran's ability to inspire and mobilize individuals willing to carry out its deadly agendas. The attack left Rushdie severely injured, with multiple stab wounds that threatened his life. Though he survived, he lost vision in one eye and sustained permanent damage. The attempt on his life was a grim reminder that the IRGC's reach extended far beyond Iran's borders, capable of influencing individuals and orchestrating attacks even decades after a fatwa was issued. For the IRGC, the attempted assassination of Salman Rushdie was not just about avenging perceived blasphemy. It was about demonstrating the regime's unyielding commitment to enforcing its interpretation of Islamic law. It was a signal to the world that Iran's enemies, no matter how far they ran or how long they hid, would never be safe. The international outcry following the attack was swift. World leaders condemned the violence, and renewed scrutiny fell upon Iran's role in exporting terror and inciting violence against dissidents and critics. But for Iran's hardliners and the IRGC, the attack was seen as a victory, a chilling affirmation that their enemies could still be reached, no matter how much time had passed. The attempted assassination of Salman Rushdie was not just a continuation of the fatwa. It was a testament to the IRGC's unwavering dedication to Iran's revolutionary ideology. It was a stark reminder that the Islamic Republic's war on dissent was not confined to its borders, but was a global campaign waged with ruthless precision. And as Rushdie's blood stained the stage in New York, it served as a grim warning to all who dared to challenge the will of the Iranian regime.